All right, boys and girls. So for number one, we're still working with ordered pairs and we're working with coordinate grids today. Today, the new thing you're going to be seeing is the scales here, okay? Now, I'm looking at my table and it's telling me the average monthly temperature from January to May, and I can see my temperature is increasing. My first month of January starts with 50 and my last month of May is 80. So you have to use that. Appropriate scale means what numbers would be best to use if I were to make a coordinate grid. 20 to 60. Okay, now 60 would be good for 50 and 54, but the rest of the numbers would not fit on that grid. So I can't do that one. Zero to 50 wouldn't work either because you would just get January of 50. So that wouldn't be a good scale. 0 to 100 is your best bet because it would cover all these numbers that you would have to graph, okay? So your appropriate scale would be 0 to 100. Now the intervals means the spacing in between. If I did 100 between each number, you would have 0, 100, 200, 300. That's way too much. If I did it in 50s, again, I would have 0, 50, 100, 150, way too much. So your graph, your appropriate interval, that means the spacing in between, would be the 20, because then you could go 20, 40, 60, 80, and all these numbers would be covered. Well done, of course. Okay, next one. Here's where it's going to be a little bit tricky, and if you get it wrong, it just is because you didn't make the graph as exact as you need to do, or it needs to be. So I see my month here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the temperature, and I can see my temperature rises, starts at 46 degrees, and then the last month it goes to 76 degrees. So look at what you have to do now. I'm going to plot my first ordered pair here, 1 and 46. So you're going to click this. 1, of course, is on my x-axis. 46 is my y. There's not an exact 46, but I know 46 is between 40 and 50. It's a little bit closer to 50. So I'm going to plot that point, that ordered pair, about right here. Okay. Now, for 2, excuse me, for 2 and 50, same thing. 2 is the x-axis. This time 50 is an exact spot. Watch what you do. You have to click this one, your first ordered pair, and you're going to move the information, the line, to 2 and 50 at the exact spot. Next, I'm already at 2 and 50. I'm going to my third month, and in my third month, it was 60 degrees. So I'm going to 3 on my x. 60, again, is an exact spot. So I take the click, or I put the mouse over there, I click it, I'm going to 3, and I go out up to 60. Okay, and it plots it for you. Then I'm going to do this ordered pair of 4 and 68. 4 is my x-axis. Y is 68. 68 is not an exact spot, but I know 68 is close to 70. So I click here, go to my fourth month, and I go to 68, which is right about here. And the last one is my fifth month. And in my fifth month, I had a temperature of 76. So 76 is right about here, closer to 80. So I click here, go to my fifth month, 76 is right about there. Now, if your points are not close enough to the ordered pair, it will mark it wrong. Okay, so try to get your ordered pairs as close as you can to the exact numbers on the graph. Okay, I did it, so that's why, of course, it says well done. Next one. This one you're just looking, my question says the least change. That means the one that didn't have as much as an interval. I can see, if you look here, this is about 78 and this is about 85. So that's about 7 spaces in between, okay? You could check the other ones or you could look just at the lines there. If you look here, this one says 60 to, I would say, about 56. 60 to 56 is only 4. The difference would be 4. So that's your least one. So that would be from month 1 to 2. Of course, yours may be different. You have to look at the graph and see which one has the shortest space. For number 3, you're just ordering your ordered pairs here. 1 is my x-axis. That's the first month. How big was the plant? It was 15 inches, so I put 15 for my y. We do the rest of them. This one's easy. I'm going to go to number 5. Number 5 was the same thing as the other one. Now number 6, it says between which 2 months did the plant grow the most, and then which 2 months did it grow the least. Same thing that we did before, okay? I can already see without knowing any numbers that this spot right here, I can see if I can focus it. The spot here and here, that's my biggest growth. That's my biggest jump because the line is the longest. So that's going to be my most, okay? Then same thing with the least. You can look at the information here in the data, but I can kind of tell already that this is the shortest line. So that's going to be my least amount, all right? And then here are the months down here for that answer. This one, we have to estimate the height at 1.5 months. Here are all my months again. And the 1.5 would be right in between the 1 and 2. I go to my graph here, my coordinate grid. Let me see if I could highlight this better for you. So 1.5 is right here, okay? If I go up, the height for it, it says about. So we don't need an exact measurement. If I look over to the height in inches, mine would be about 24, okay? Again, yours may be different. Now, number 7 has 2 parts to it. You're going to have this blue line in your graph, which is the temperature, and our vertical graph here is a precipitation. That means the rain. Here's temperature over here for that blue part. Precipitation, the red part, is over here, okay? Here are the months, January through May. So we have to complete this explanation. In the first 5 months of the year, the average temperature over the first 5 months, what did it do? So the temperature, remember, we're going to be looking at the blue part right now. The first 5 months, here's January where it starts, and I don't want to do that. It goes, if you follow the line, here's where it ends in May. That's the first 5 months. So look at this blue line. Is it going up? Is it staying the same, or is it going down? Well, hopefully you could tell it's going up. If it's going up, we know that means increase, okay? When the temperature is higher, so here's my high temperature of 70, or I'm not close to 70, I would say about 68. The amount of precipitation, so look at this 68 here. If I look right down, look at how much rain there was. There wasn't a lot of rain at all, okay? So if I have a high temperature, I don't have a lot of rain. So that rain gets lower. The average temperature in February was about. So now I'm going to have to go to February on my graph. Temperature. Remember, that's the blue line we're looking at. Here's the blue line. I keep doing that. The temperature is over to my right. I look, and in February, it was about 50 degrees. Okay, so that's how you're going to solve that problem.